Boss, you've been playing for 600 hours now. What have you found so far? What have you been doing anyways? Well, Mr. Bear, I've been researching some more about the current recipes that we have and how much we're actually earning. So, have you utilized my previous video and managed to make more money? Yes, boss. Check it out. I have about 500k with me now. That's great to know, Mr. Bear. Well, this time, I will be adding more variables to our equations such as weighted average earnings for each, so we're not just using the minimum and maximum profits, and as well as the cook time for each dishes. How about you, Dr. Piranha? How are you doing? Well, I heard what you've been up to. This better be more accurate this time. Trust me, Dr. Piranha, it will be. What about Blythe over here? How much have you made so? Okay, Blythe is not here. That's totally fine, he's out playing somewhere. So there, gamers of all playstyles, welcome back to another video of Myth or Millions. And in this video, we will be talking about basic recipes and how much profit you're actually earning from them. Alright, so for this video, instead of using our book in-game, instead of that as my presentation, I actually decided to prepare a presentation for you all, so it's easier to, I guess, view and understand the whole workings into how I found these out. So before we begin, we are again going to identify the recipe types in-game. So personally, this is how I categorize them. We have the jams. So these are recipes with all 4 same ingredients. And the basic ones, they have unique ingredients on each one. So this is the tiramisu, although maybe we can consider it as jams because they're all bought from Massimo anyways. The thing about it is that they're all differing in prices, so that's one thing. Other than that, we also have in the basic, we have a mix of store-bought ones, the planted and harvested ones, and the foraged ones right over here. Whereas for fish, of course, this recipe includes fishes in them. Whereas nested, these are recipes that involve complete cooked dishes in them, such as this one. I forgot what recipe this was, but this has a tomato jam in it. And this one, I believe this was the candlelit picnic. And it has full-on just cooked recipes in them. So for this video, we will be talking only about the basic ones. And if you haven't seen my previous video, we have talked about jams over on there if you want to see which of the jams made the most money. After that, we also have to consider the hourly ingredient acquisition for this one. And there are two types. There's active and passive ways to get them, and there are 6 types of ingredients. There are ones that you can forage. They cost no gold, but they cost your time. And there's the one that's chopped, although this one is not yet we haven't fully audited the time on this one because I did not consider the time it takes to sleep for the chopped ones because this one costs energy. So what I did to collect the audits for this one is only the average hourly collection for them. So if you haven't seen my previous video, that's where I showed how I got the average hourly collection for some of the foraged and chopped materials. As for planting, this is computed by plots over the growth time in hours. That's how many hours you are spending on the planting. Next one is we have the Massimo. I'm calling it Massimo instead of shop or grocery. And this is how we acquire them. It's pretty much fixed because we only have a 50 daily limit over 24 hours since it resets every 24 hours. And the fishing and cooking ones, these are mostly used for the fish recipes and the nested recipes, which we wouldn't be talking about for now. So if you notice, the passive ones are here, planting and Massimo. We are going to consider these as the passive ingredient acquisition because we're not really going to consider the time it takes to travel to Massimo to Blanc. So we're going to consider those as passive. So that's 0 hours taken on some of them. And the planting one, it's pretty passive. We're going to consider the hours it takes to wait for the plants to grow as passive instead of as active hours. When you're waiting for grapes, you're assumed to be offline during those times instead of actually collecting. This is it. The formula I've came up with for the true profit per hour. This is what I found, and this is what it looks like. That is 1 hour over the dish production time multiplied by the weighted profit, and that's how we get the true profit per hour. So from the previous videos, we only looked at the maximum gold per hour and the minimum gold per hour, which is not entirely accurate to how much gold we are actually earning per dish. Because for the maximum gold per hour, that's only when we are getting 5 stars every single time we cook, which is not very possible. I actually found out that the chances of getting 5-star is really, really slim compared to the minimum gold per hour. So how did I get the weighted gold per hour from using the stars based on the stars? Right over here, the weighted average. So here's what I did. I cooked 5 batches, 100 of the same dish. For this one, I used tomatoes because the tomatoes have the lowest failure rate for cooking. And with that, I also used 4 stove setup since the average player and most players will be using this type of stove setup for cooking. I believe there are other stove setups that you can do where you can glitch out some stoves together so you have more stoves with you. But for this, we will only be using mostly 4 stove setup. And I also have cooking level 10, so that's going to, of course, change the results that I got here. And from what I've found after cooking 500 tomatoes, there is 47.6% chance of getting a 1-star and so very little for 5-star, only a 3.6% chance. And here are the rest of the percentage for the star level. But if we have a control group, right over here, the onsen egg test. So the thing about the onsen eggs, they don't have a quick time event unlike the rest of the other dishes, like the tomato sauce right over here. Really impossible to fail the onsen eggs unless you prematurely take them out of the basket. So I did the 3 basket setup here, which doesn't really change up the results on this one. Because if we go over here, we have a 4 stove setup, you won't be able to be concentrated on 1 stove. So your quick time event will have a bit of failure rate right over there. So right over here, the 0 failure rate for the onsen egg test, I have found out that the 1-star is at 44%. And the 5-star is pretty much the same at 3.6%. And here are the percentages for each of the star level. As you can see, 4-star, you have 1% more chance of getting a 4-star if you actually have 0% failure rate. Now that we are done with the weighted average, we now proceed to the production time. How do we get the dish production time? So from my previous video, a lot of you have been requesting to add the time it takes to cook. So we have here the dish cook time plus the ingredient labor hour. What is the dish cook time? This is just the amount of time it takes to cook 1 dish, or if you are doing batches. Plus the ingredient labor hour, this is how long it takes you to collect the ingredients. But we will also be accounting here how much ingredients you are obtaining per hour. Here for the dish cook time, we will also again be doing 4 stove setup. Only managed to collect some of these yet because it takes a lot of time in ingredients to get the data for the rest of the other dishes. So the average cook time for this, I took it using 10 batches of 4, a total of 40 dishes. And here is the formula that I use. So that's the average cook time in seconds of each of these over how many stoves I used. So that gives me the amount it takes to cook 1 dish. Here is an example. For the black truffle pie, it took me an average of 26 seconds to cook 4 of them. So divide that by 4, that's 6.5 seconds. And to be consistent with everything else, I had to convert it into hours. So that's 6.5 seconds divided by 3,600 seconds. So that's 0.0018 hours. What about the ingredient labor hour per dish? Like I've said, there's passive and the active. For the passive, we have the wait time, but it's negligible. What we will have to be negligible here is the amount of time it takes to travel to Massimo, the amount of time it takes to harvest and sow the seeds and the crops. For example, right over here, for the passive dish is the grape jams. We have 1 hour over 4. If you were from my previous video, that's where I showed you that it takes 1 hour to collect 4 grapes. So that's 4 grapes per hour multiplied by 4 grapes. This is how many grapes we need in order to make a whole grape jam. That is 1 hour's worth to make a whole grape jam. In terms of ingredient, of course, this is still not accounting the time it takes to cook. Next is the active. One of the most active ingredients that we have here is the grilled mushroom. That's 1 hour over 1,400. This is the average time it takes most players to get mushrooms multiplied by 4. That's about 10.26 seconds. 0.00285 hours. Our black truffle pie, yet again, since this is one of the most diverse basic recipes out there, and I think most of the people want to know how much these actually earn us. So it's pretty easy. We just somewhat use the same formula here, just changing up something. So this is 1 hour over how many black truffles you are gaining per hour multiplied by how many black truffles you will need for this one. So that's about 1 minute and 31 seconds that it takes to collect the black truffle for one dish. In order to be able to collect the ingredients for black truffle pie, you will need approximately 36 minutes for that one. Finally, here we have the dish production time. This is the dish cook time and ingredient labor hours, since we finally have them both. For the black truffle pie, as another example, we have 6.5 seconds, converted it into hours, plus the approximately 36 minutes it takes to collect all the ingredients. That's about 36 minutes in total. And right over here, finally, the true profit per hour. Using the solution that I presented earlier, we use again the black truffle pie for this one. So that's 1 hour over 0.6072 hours multiplied by the weighted profit, which is 1,209.8, is equal to 1,992.4242 profit per hour. Where did I get the 1,209.8? I will show you. I have right over here. Oh, my pride and glory. This is what I've been working on for the past few days. If you notice that I haven't been uploading as much, I've been working on a Google Sheets for this one. Alright, here is the Master Sheet Super Ultimate Millionaire Mindset Master Sheet. We have here the ingredients master list over here, the stats and the formulas that I've used from the previous and this current video. They're all set up and plugged in on this one here. Right, hold up. These one are mostly, I just inputted them here. But for these, we have the drop down menu of the ingredients for each of the recipes. We have all the formulas right up over here. So if you want to see the actual profits, they're all right over here, the actual profits using the formulas from earlier. As you can see, the others are still in error because I haven't found the cook time. I haven't tested it myself yet. If you want to do it yourself, you can have a copy of this thing and do the testing and input your values yourselves right in these rows and columns right over here. And as you can see here, this is the... What is this? Is this the tiramisu? Took time. Okay, this one is the tiramisu, I'm pretty sure. And this is the corn soup. It takes a lot of time to cook it. So that is 57 seconds. 57 seconds. That is actually 57 actual profit per hour. And the abysmally low 13 actual profit per hour for our tiramisu. And can you guess what these two are? The grapes and the mushroom. So the grapes are, it's pretty generous. It gives 264, and the mushroom, of course, the grilled mushrooms, still clearly the winner at 41,955. Whereas we have here the black truffle mushrooms, we have 1,992 gold per hour, which is really, really great still. And yeah, for the rest, they haven't been filled up yet. Wait, what's this? 5,100. Oh, of course, it's the tomato sauce. So yes, if you want to do the testing yourself and if you want to complete the boxes on this one, you can just have a copy of this and do the filling up by yourselves. Another disclaimer is that the spreadsheet is not yet done, but feel free to use it if you want to use it already. I'll leave the link down in the description because the thing about it is I think I have some columns that shouldn't be there in the first place and some words that I could have used some other phrases to make it clearer. But other than that, it works, the math works, and the formulas right over there. So yeah, alright gamers, that will be it for now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, or at least learned something from that, or maybe feel a bit more smarter now than you did a few minutes ago. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.